Howdy, it's Alexander here at AZ Firearms Auctions, taking a look at a few of the guns we have coming up in our July 18th auction. It's going to be a huge auction. It's only going to be firearms and firearm accessories. It's going to be 120 guns, but I decided to pull 5 because they're all very similar, but all distinct. These, of course, are SKSs. 2 of them are going to be from China, 2 of them are going to be from Russia, and 1 of them is going to be from Yugoslavia. And, you know, from a distance, if you blur your eyes, they all look very similar, but they all have different things that make them tick, even the ones between different countries. Starting in no particular order, we have a great example of a Chinese rifle. Now this is one of the earlier ones. It still has a milled trigger guard. It still has a blade bayonet. It would eventually change to a cruciform bayonet, something that looks a little bit like this. You know, cruciform, of course, because it's 4 sides. You know, later in like the Vietnam War, and then eventually, you know, export, they would change trigger styles and construction. They also did a bunch of different types of stock styles. They did a synthetic paratrooper. It was lightweight. They did a shortened barrel. You know, for export, some came with you know, scope mounts, and some, particularly for the ban era, came without the presence of a pistol grip, but something to kind of fit it. You know, this of course is a export example made at Arsenal 0130. It has the bayonet lug, which is a no-no feature during the 94 to end of the assault weapon ban, but you know, 10-round magazine. None of these have threaded barrels, but ain't that cool? Next up, we have a proper Russian. Both of the examples that we have were made at Tula, but they all have slightly different features. This one, it looks like, no way of knowing for sure, but it definitely seems like it has been re-arsenaled. The bolt has been blackened. It would have originally been chrome, and actually if you look closely, there is little bits peeking through of the original finish. The bayonet lug has been ground for export. It comes with the original sling. It's dated 1952, which is a little bit dated in the production line. But the other example that we have retains the original blade bayonet. It's a little bit more complete. This, of course, is just a little ill-fitting mount that replaces the top cover, you know, takedown pin. It does have a replacement bayonet screw there, but otherwise this would be a little bit more complete or a little bit more original if you take the time and shine it up. Super cool to see. Of course, these are very rare in the United States. We had a ban with Russia before a ban with, you know, former Soviet or Yugoslavian states. Moving on to Yugoslavia, they did take the design and run with it. They got the original technical data package from Russia in 1959, but by 1966 they had changed a whole lot. So let us take a look at what the SKS became. It started off as a pretty close 1-for-1, but then they decided it wasn't good enough as it was. They ended up adding a rifled grenade launcher, as seen on this model. It's still present, but the muzzle has been drilled, so it acts as a little bit of a flash hider. Kind of a cool thing, because U.S. civilian market, we don't have rifle grenades, of course. But it does have a gas shutoff system. It does have rifle sights, as well as night sights that are flip-up. They would have originally been glow-in-the-dark, but time has not been too kind to them. They have a rubber butt pad, which helps when you're firing rifle grenades, as well as a thicker grip. If you've got bigger hands, it's just more pleasant to shoot. And they never deviated from the blade-style bayonet like China would. But other than that, it is just a beefier, foxier looking rifle. Now this was just 5 of the 120 guns that we're going to have in July 18th. It's going to be a whole bunch of other stuff too. Check it out at pogauctions.com. Once again, we're always buying and consigning firearms, ammo, and firearm accessories. pogauctions.com, July 18th. Hope to see you there.